What is up, everybody? So, yeah, we're gonna check out When It Comes to Wonder video today, because he's gonna do a breakdown of the She-Hulk. So, the title of the video is She-Hulk trailer breakdown, Daredevil cameo, villain details, and Easter eggs. So apparently we got some Easter eggs in this trailer as well. So let's see what Mr. Cosmic Wonder has dug up on this She-Hulk trailer.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and yesterday we got the very first trailer for She-Hulk. So
yeah,
in this video, I'll explain everything you need to know about what we saw in the trailer. Who exactly is Jennifer Walters / She-Hulk? How does she get her powers? Who were all those people that we saw in the trailer? We actually saw multiple different villains. And of course, we have to talk about other characters making appearances, like Daredevil. And I'll also give you my thoughts on the trailer, and we'll start with that because I do need to address the fact that the CGI was not very good. It's actually kind of funny because I put out some tweets and Instagram posts asking everybody what they thought of the trailer, and I watched it on my phone for the first time, and a lot of people started commenting, wow, the CGI is really bad. So I went to my computer and I watched it, and I was like, wow,
people really didn't like the CGI on the whole.
But the question is, will they make it any better for the actual show? Because this is just the trailer. They do have time to improve it before the show actually comes out. However, I'm not sure they actually will, because if they thought it was good enough for the trailer, they probably think that it's good enough for the show. However, maybe if they monitor comments,
I didn't even thought about that.
On all of their platforms, they may read all the comments saying that the CGI is bad and might try to change it. But again, since they thought it was good enough for the trailer, this might be the final CGI that we see in the series, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, She-Hulk looks like it has the potential to actually be a good show and a very hilarious show. There's rumors that she's going to be breaking the fourth wall in the show, much like Deadpool does in his movies, and if executed properly, that could be pretty funny. And She-Hulk is a pretty prominent and important character in the comics. She's been a member of the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Defenders, Fantastic Force, Heroes for Hire, and S.H.I.E.L.D. And she was a part of Secret Wars, which we do know the MCU is leading up to. And we are in sort of a comic-accurate Marvel phase right now, and in one of the first scenes that we see of her as She-Hulk, she jumps to the floor and we see her in a very comic-accurate suit, although she doesn't fully turn around and we don't see her face in this. But the suit is taken right from the comics. Now, as far as how she actually becomes She-Hulk, it looks like they are going to be changing up her origins just a little bit here. In the comics, Jennifer Walters gets shot by a crime boss, but on that same day, her cousin, Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, who does actually say "cuz" in the trailer, he just so happens to be visiting her that same day to tell her about his Hulk transformation. Jennifer ends up needing a blood transfusion to stay alive, and Bruce Banner
they had something else going on
there with the same blood type. So Bruce Banner gives his cousin, Jennifer Walters, his blood, and of course, as we know, his blood is filled with gamma radiation. He gives her gamma irradiated blood, and this causes her to become She-Hulk. Now, this explains why Professor Hulk, who we see here, is so involved with her in this teaser trailer. He's helping her adapt and stay in control of her Hulk form. Now, I don't think she actually is going to get shot.
So she don't end up the same mistake that Bruce did with Hulk.
She gets into a really, really bad car accident, and that's when Bruce Banner comes in and gives her some of his blood. From there on out, it looks like she turns into the Hulk, but Bruce takes her back to an island, which appears to be where he lives, so he can kind of just Hulk out and be whoever he wants and not be disturbed. Most likely taking her back there as well, so
the way how they capture that footage,
plus, not to mention,
it makes it seem like the She-Hulk has like a
genius when it comes to this sort of
wig
stuff.
going on.
Insanely smart as well, but she is a lawyer, not a scientist.
Like, it's not real hair.
This is Bruce's expertise, and that's where we
see all
these experiments with Professor Hulk trying to teach her how to be in control. Now, something worth noting is that this is still indeed Professor Hulk. If you recall, in the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings post-credit scene, we actually saw Bruce Banner no longer in Hulk form. He wasn't the Hulk, he wasn't Professor Hulk, he was Bruce Banner. So that leads me to believe that She-Hulk probably takes place before the events of Shang-Chi. But this does, of course, take place after the events of Avengers Endgame, because Bruce Banner is Professor Hulk. Now, because she turns into the Hulk because of the blood transfusion she gets from her cousin, her Hulk form is a more mild version of Bruce Banner's. This is why she's able to walk around as She-Hulk and still kind of be the same person, Jennifer Walters, the lawyer. Now, what's interesting is that in the comics, her She-Hulk form was originally explained as being molded by her subconscious thoughts and desires to look like the ideal woman, according to her own thoughts. And eventually she would go on to choose to retain her She-Hulk form permanently because she preferred the freedom and the confidence that it gave her. And they kind of tease at that a lot in this teaser trailer. We see her posing for her friends, we hear the women talking about how good her butt looks, we even see her going on Tinder and seeing all of the guys that like her. And eventually it looks like she finds a guy that likes to be tossed around. Good for you, man. No judgment here. Do your thing. Now, the trailer, of course, tells us that she is a lawyer, and that's kind of the subtitle of the series, She-Hulk Attorney at Law. And this is why it's heavily rumored that Daredevil is going to be making an appearance in this show for more than one episode. And that just makes sense because he is also a lawyer, also in New York. They've run into each other a lot in the comics, and it would make sense that they would run into each other in the
I think he was in
the two of them.
I think Daredevil, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was in the No Way Home as well.
A superhuman law division.
He was the lawyer for
her to be the head of it.
For Peter Parker.
He says this, they show us a very, very large facility. We also see her walk out of this facility, which seems to be heavily guarded. So I'm assuming that this facility is a prison for superhumans, kind of like the Raft, which we saw in Captain America: Civil War. And in this prison, we see Tim Roth back as Emil Blonsky.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to come back, man. I did not. Which that tells you right there, he's gonna be one of the bad guys.
This looks pretty similar to the cage that Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. made for the Hulk in the first Avengers film. So maybe this is a sword facility. But we actually saw this in Shang-Chi. When Wong and Abomination are about to leave, Wong opens up a portal and we see someplace that shows us this exact same cage that we're seeing here in this trailer. Now, why were Abomination and Wong putting on a fight show? We're not sure, but hopefully we'll find out in this series. And Marvel did confirm that Wong is going to be appearing in the series. Now, we are briefly shown two new people in this trailer. One is a villain and one is kind of a smaller hero.
Badass, man. I just wish he'd get a hero in the MCU. Badass role,
see, but the first one is Titanium. We see her fighting with Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, in the courtroom. What I'm imagining here is that Jennifer Walters is going against her in a court case, and most likely ends up winning the case, which makes Titania angry, and that results in a fight. Now, Titania is going to be played by actress Jamila Jamil, and this is actually going to be a very, very interesting character because in the comics, Titania gets her powers from Dr. Doom. During the Secret Wars event, she gets pulled into battle.
Comic looks hotter than the actual movie.
And they agreed to serve Dr. Doom, and he gives them powers in return. You see, Titania was bullied when she was a kid, and she often dreamed about having superpowers so she could get back at the people who picked on her. So she takes this opportunity to get superpowers. And basically, her superpowers enhance all of her strength. She gets taller, she gets bigger, and it's like her body is basically resistant to almost anything. Titania's body is highly resistant to physical energy. She can withstand high-caliber bullets, temperature extremes, she can fall from great heights, and she can take severe blunt force trauma. So she'll be quite the match for She-Hulk, and I'm really curious to hear about her origins, and if they do connect to Dr. Doom. Now, we did see one more person in this, very briefly, who kind of looks like the Green Power Ranger. At least at first glance. At second glance, this is Frogman. Not a very well-known Marvel superhero.
He did look like a Green Power Ranger, did he?
Spider-Man.
That was funny.
His father originally created the Frogman suit that had supercharged coils that help him leap into the air about 6 stories high. Eventually, his dad went to jail, but he took the costume and he took on the role of a good guy, becoming Frogman. And it looks like he's going to play a part in She-Hulk. Now, he could be somebody that
like a Power Ranger slash parody of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There are going to be some small heroes
or parody of the
Muppets that are introduced
Muppets in the Avengers
series because
Kermit the Frog
trials are going to deal with superhumans. So this series does have a lot of potential if it's
Kermit the Ninja Frog,
and hopefully the CGI isn't that bad. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any Marvel videos. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Yeah, I did not know that, you know, a lot of people really did not like the CGI effect. I guess because, you know, I guess it looked kind of corny, I guess, to a lot of people. I didn't even think of it, to tell you the truth. The other thing was, it was, you know, the way how they had it all, her hair and everything, like, it made it look like, you know, like she was cartoonish in a way, or like she didn't really have hair or anything like that. So, like, it didn't make it look realistic. That's what I'm saying. So, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was. But But yeah, interesting. So it seems like we are gonna have a couple, and I'm sure we're gonna have a couple of villains, and I'm sure one of them would be, I forgot the dude's name. I already forgot the dude's name, but the bad guy from The Incredible Hulk, 2008. You know, which I was surprised that he came back. I was like, oh shit, he's actually back. Would you look at that? You know. So, I'm glad. Hey man, listen, if it wasn't for the Hulk, aka Bruce Banner, aka Smart Hulk, uh, chances are I probably would not be interested in this movie. I wouldn't ever care for it. But because you have She-Hulk and the Hulk, and I didn't know that Hulk and She-Hulk, I forgot, the other name that she has. She's an attorney, but I didn't know they were cousins. I did not know that. I honestly thought they were like in some sort of relationship and some shit like that. Which then again, I shouldn't have thought of that, because then when I look at the trailers, yeah, you see her going out with in different dates and shit. So yeah, it can be slow sometimes. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. To me, it looks, the way how the trailer was, like, I can tell there's gonna be a lot of jokes are gonna be played in. A lot of jokes, a lot of just more jokes and interesting story. Do I think there's gonna be some action in here? Doesn't look like it. But I'm just interested, and I am going to be watching She-Hulk series in Disney Plus. So I'll be ready to go on August 2022. I don't remember the exact. I think it's August 14, right? I don't know. But either way, I have it at the Disney Plus, so I'll be ready to go. But hey, man, I got a question for everybody. Now, this is gonna be for the guys, and let's just say it might be a little bit kind of TV-14, but am I the only one that think, like, when I saw, well, actually, no, it's not really TV-14, but it kind of is in a way, but you know what I mean when I tell you guys this. But this to all the guys, and maybe girls, but mostly guys. But am I the only one that think that when she turned into the She-Hulk, like the way how she was, like, quote quote built and everything, like, am I the only one who think of China, the wrestler China who passed away, rest in peace China, and aka Johnny, I think it's Johnny Lawler or something like that. China, the wrestler. You don't know who China is, look her up. She was one of the members of the Generation X. Along with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and X-Pac and Badass Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, etc., etc. She's mainly known in the Attitude Era WWE, aka what used to be called WWF, even though it's the same company, but they just changed it to, change up the brand a little bit. But yeah, she reminded me a lot of China. Like, reminds me of China, just the way how she was built. You know what I mean? And I remember one time when China, she used to wear the Wonder Woman outfit. I was like, man, she could easily play Wonder Woman if she wanted to. I don't know if maybe she needed, more acting, more practice in the audition, if she really wanted to. You know what I mean? She had built to be either She-Hulk or Wonder Woman. So that's where that's what I think of when I see She-Hulk now. I don't know why, but it reminds me of China, just the way how she looked, and among other things, like the entertainment sides that she used to do outside of WWE. Sure, you guys know what I mean. I'm not gonna get further in that because I'm not trying to, fuck with YouTube right now. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think of the CGI of She-Hulk, and also, are you guys are interested in seeing this series? Post it on the comments below. And if you enjoyed this reaction, you can go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Make sure you guys click on the notification bell so that way you guys can get more upcoming videos in the near future. And if there's any videos you guys want me to do a reaction or do a challenge, you can always just leave it on the comment section down below. If you have any questions for me, you can either leave it on the comment section as well, or you can email me at greatenzo97@gmail.com. Alright guys, well, until next time, peace out.